ABC Action News is streaming breaking news.
Welcome to ABC Action News Streaming Now. I'm Ryan Smith. We want to take you live back out to Redington Beach in Pinellas County to give you a live picture as crews continue their efforts to rescue 5 whales that have been left stranded right off the shore in Pinellas County. As you can see it there, we've been told that there are efforts underway right now at this hour to begin the process of moving some of these whales. Now, this whole process has been an extensive one, bringing together resources with deputies from the Florida FWC as well as the University of Florida. You can see crews are working right now. They had placed tents over these whales to keep them cool under the hot Florida sun for hours all day. So it's been a very active scene all morning and afternoon, drawing a large crowd. You can see that there in our live picture. Hopefully people out there to see a successful rescue. We're told 3 of the whales will eventually be tagged with a satellite to track their movements and be released back into the Gulf. The 2 other whales are going to a marine facility in Tarpon Springs. As I mentioned, it's been a massive rescue effort all afternoon for several hours, bringing in those multiple resources. FWC first alerted to these stranded whales around 6:40 this morning. Now, we've been told from researchers that these whales are actually very common in Gulf waters, but the problem is they've had trouble navigating in that shallow water. So it's unclear right now how they came to be stranded in the Gulf waters. They could be sick or without their leaders. Again, you can see that massive effort underway at this hour in Redington Beach as they begin their efforts to move some of these whales. 2 of the whales are planned to go to a rehabilitation facility in Tarpon Springs. The other 3 they plan to send back out into the Gulf. And we heard from a University of Florida researcher not long ago. He said that it's, of course, a very fluid operation and that they expect the game plan to change hour by hour on what is going to happen. And you see, wow, look at that. Action Air 1 up in the sky right now showing us that live picture. And for just a moment, we saw a very large crowd. They're all lined up there along the shore and into the water along Redington Beach. So a lot happening at this hour. Again, you see the tents. They are still over those 2 of the whales where we see the largest crowd right now as crews work to bring them closer to shore. So again, this continues to develop throughout the afternoon. And again, we're told that what led to them being stranded off the Gulf shores, it's unknown for now. These whales could be sick. They are without a leader, most likely. So again, developing, and you see that in Redington Beach off of Pinellas County. Again, a massive rescue effort underway, bringing in resources from several groups and organizations, marine groups, including the FWC, University of Florida, and Mote Marine. Mote Marine, we learned, actually, they will be using a recent marine grant money to tag 3 of these whales so they can track their movements and send them back into the waters. The other 2 whales will be sent to a marine facility for research and how to figure out how to properly care for these whales in Tarpon Springs. These whales are very common in the Gulf, but again, they run into that problem of not knowing what to do or how to navigate in the shallow waters. A researcher with the University of Florida telling us just not long ago that they became distressed, they could be sick or without a leader. We have multiple crews out on the scene right now tracking this rescue effort, and you can see they've moved 1 whale out from underneath one of the tents. They had placed tents over these whales all afternoon to help keep them cool as the rescue efforts were underway. Now this large group of researchers and what we can only imagine are several marine volunteers out here and wildlife enthusiasts, they are now successfully, it looks like, slowly but surely moving 1 of the 5 distressed whales out from underneath the tent and closer to the shore on Redington Beach. And this is a live look at Redington Beach right now where efforts continue to rescue those 5 whales left stranded near the Pinellas shore. And that crew, we're getting a live look right now, passing one of the tents where another whale is. They're focusing on their rescue efforts, 1 whale at a time. We can't get too great of a shot and actually see the whale itself. There are so many people, researchers, wildlife officials, and volunteers Now you can see it's just a massive effort. All of these whales, we are told, the 5 distressed whales, vary in length from about 10 feet long to 14 feet long, and you can only imagine the weight. And as you can see, a couple dozen people lined up on either side of the whale right now to bring it safely to shore, and it has a long road, we can imagine, to the recovery. 3 of the whales will be geotagged and tagged with satellites by Mote Marine. The other 2, we're told, will then go to a facility in Tarpon Springs. You can see right now they are successfully walking one of the whales up to the shore at Redington Beach, slowly but surely walking it onto the beach. And now we get a glimpse of all the people, all the folks and crowd out there on the beach watching this all unfold. It's got to be an incredible sight to see. Lots of people here just hoping for a successful rescue. And now you can see the tent that they had used to cover that whale. It's being brought up to shore as this whale is being safely placed out on the sand. And look at that crowd. Live pictures from Action Air 1 showing us the massive crowd of beachgoers who are lined up watching this rescue effort all unfold, happening right now at Redington Beach. And we've been told that they will be completing blood tests to figure out the health of these 5 whales and the strength of these 5 whales. And now you can see the crews continue, a couple dozen people strong, slowly and surely walking this one whale back through this massive crowd of people. They've all been gathering here for several hours throughout the afternoon, walking it past the sand, past the shore, and now hopefully to a way to transport it to that facility in Tarpon Springs. Again, there's a very fluid game plan, we are told, by Mike Walsh with the University of Florida, one of the researchers on this rescue effort. He told us earlier this afternoon that 3 of the whales will be sent back into the Gulf. The other 2 will be continue to be researched in how to properly care for them and rehab them at a facility in Pinellas County. And there you can see live from the sky, Action Air 1 showing us that crowds of people there. I can only imagine the sight they're seeing, watching this all unfold, just hoping for a successful rescue effort. Again, 4 other distressed whales are left in the Gulf right now. FWC working with Mote Marine and the University of Florida. And here we have a picture of that vehicle being used to transport that first whale, successfully brought out of the water. And hopefully, we're told, there you can see the shot of, again, a couple dozen people carrying that heavy whale. Each of those whales 10 to 14 feet in length. Now they're walking through a sidewalk, and you can see 2 houses that are adjoined on each side of this as they continue to carefully and strategically move this massive whale from the Gulf through the sand and through that large crowd, and now to be transported to that facility in Tarpon Springs. Again, this all developing in Redington Beach in Pinellas County, and we will continue to follow these breaking developments. And now you can see it's a very busy roadway. They've had to block some of the traffic to make sure that this truck can stay parked and remain on scene so they can load up that whale. Again, just a massive rescue effort underway involving several local marine organizations, what I'm sure are volunteers as well. It looks like that truck belongs to Manatee Rescue, which now is being used to help rescue one of the 5 whales. That is a truck with the Florida Fish and Wildlife, which is one organization. They were alerted to these 5 stranded whales out in the Gulf at about 6:40 this morning, and ever since about 6:30 this morning, we've seen just that crowd continue to grow out in Redington Beach in Pinellas County. So we have 1 of 5 whales that they have successfully brought in from out of the Gulf through the sand, and now looks like they will be transported. 1 whale, we're sure, is being taken to a marine facility in Tarpon Springs. 3 of the whales, we've learned, they're going to send them back into the Gulf, of course, after some tests are done, making sure they are healthy and able to go back into the waters. They will also be tagged with satellite and geo trackers so researchers and experts can track their movements. 2 of the 5 whales are going to go to that facility to be cared for. And you can see now some of the men and women helping with this rescue effort are actually hopping into that FWC Manatee Rescue truck, where they will continue to load that whale into the truck This is just off Reddington Beach. We are not sure what road that this is parked on, but you can see it is impacting traffic in the middle of the afternoon. And now we see lots and lots of people, a couple of families hoisting their children up on their shoulders so they can get a good look at this whale. Again, this is the first step to successfully rescuing these 5 stranded whales off of Reddington Beach. And you can only imagine how many people this takes to accomplish. A large crowd now developing around the truck because they want to see this successful rescue continue its operation and get this whale back to safety and in good health.